Hello world, you're watching 70s Music Twin Ranked.
That's your joke?
80s Music Twin Ranked.
Yeah.
What do you say? We're on the 25th band or something like that?
Yeah. You said you had a joke, and I'm like, well, I was going to say something first, but I'll wait. Yeah, I had a joke too.
Yeah, and in case you don't know, Van Halen's I'll Wait.
He did the same thing he did with Eagles. Or was it him? No, Bob Seger. Bob Seger with the Eagles wrote the chorus to Heartache Tonight,
right?
Because they couldn't figure out the chorus. They had everything else.
They had everything
so
else.
they went to Bob Seger. So Bob Seger and Malcolm McDonald, Michael McDonald. They do kind of seem similar with the gray hair now and their mustache.
Yes. So, anyways, we're doing the Doobie Brothers today. They're not brothers, in case you didn't know, because there's a black guy in there.
He's a brother. That's what we referred to him way back then. Hey, brother.
Right. And none of them are brothers, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're brothers, you're not adding members later on.
No, well, they didn't. The brothers, they didn't have a band name. And somebody, like their next door neighbor or something, they had, they were all living together. And he said, why don't you call yourselves the Doobie Brothers? Because you guys are all smoking pot. And so they didn't have a name. They're like, okay, we'll do it for tonight. They had a gig. And they go, but we'll figure out another name. But they never did. They kept.
In case you don't know, because that's probably not a thing anymore, but back then.
Oh, yeah. Doobie, you called it a Doobie.
We even had a friend from school who always, he'd go, Doobie. Wasn't it Tom?
Yeah.
He's passed away.
He's passed away.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yes, that's not why, is it? Could be.
No. He actually had kids, and he was a grandfather. So
okay, was he a grandfather?
Yeah. I was gonna say his name is Tom. We're not gonna say his last name.
Anyway, so this band, if we were doing 70s Music Twin Ranked, no doubt the Doobie Brothers would be higher on our charts, right? So because we're doing 80s, we have all these other bands that we think are better than the Doobie Brothers, but if we were to eliminate the ones that started in the 80s, we'd be in the 20s or even before that. For the
and we've I've looked at our list of the backlog of videos we've done. We've done about 27 who had quite a few hits in the 70s.
Yeah. And that includes Van Halen.
Yeah, Van Halen, the first album was 78. And they had 5 hits. So
now somebody that we knew, maybe it was our parents, had the record form of the greatest hits, I think.
Yeah.
So I remember the first greatest hits, and I remember Long Train Running playing on the record, and that was probably the first time I tried to write lyrics to the song. I don't know if the lyrics were on the actual sleeve, not a greatest hits. They did normally on the original.
Yeah, song that if you listen to it, you would think it was titled
Without Love, and because they say it all the time. But no, they actually do say long. They say long trains. Plural, and so it's even an incorrect title. It's not a singular train. But that one, even before I mentioned my Eye of the Tiger thing where I was trying to write lyrics, I tried to write the lyrics to this way before that because we had the album.
Yeah.
Okay, so they definitely, most of their hits are in the 70s. They're like the Eagles. If the Eagles did not have I Can't Tell You Why, we wouldn't do the Eagles because they didn't really go into the 80s, except for that song. Same thing with Doobie Brothers. Well, they have Real Love. Real Love came out.
Yeah. Real Love, and I have it high on my list because of the beginning.
Well, it's got a good beginning. Is that keyboards or guitar?
I would say it's keyboards.
But then it gets slow.
But if you listen to any of their live versions on YouTube,
right,
they skip that part. They're not the best part of the song, and they don't play
the beginning. Yes. But and then they had One Step Closer was also a hit, but not as big.
Well, Doctor was a...
that was in... So you can see behind us, after One Step Closer, they did a farewell tour, and we watched that one because we had cable, and that, get to see, bye, you don't know who you are, bye. and that was the first time I remember seeing a band.
Yeah, we probably saw that a few times.
First time I remember seeing a band that had 2 drummers.
Yeah.
And then 38 Special, obviously.
Now, that song I just mentioned, Doctor, You wouldn't believe how many songs that are hits have Doctor in them.
We already did
Robert Palmer. I mean,
Thompson
Twins. Motley Crue. Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah. I think, does Roxette have one? I can't remember. I think they do.
Jackson Brown. Doctor My Eyes.
Yeah. Well, get this. Oh, you just mentioned Real Love. Now, we haven't even gone through the history, but we're just talking about songs. I read, when I was reading on particular songs, between 1980 and 1996, there were 9 songs in the Billboard Top 100 titled Real Love. And the Doobie Brothers version was the second one. And out of all those that were ranked, they charted the second highest.
Yeah.
Jody Watley had like the
I've known a few songs where it's like, oh, they have one title of that, and they have one like, Huey Lewis, or number 1, Power of Love. Celine Dion had one, so.
Yes. So, yeah. Some titles you can't sue people because of titles. Then we wouldn't have music ever. Okay, so they start back in 1971, self-titled album, didn't have any hits, right? And then second album, what's their first hit? Listen to the music. Pretty good first hit. Again, we've seen a lot of bands have the pretty good first hit. Still didn't make the top 10, but that is a fun song to listen to. You can't help. This band probably does similar to In Excess. They're fun songs.
Fun song didn't reach number 1. What does reach number 1 on there?
Black Water.
Black Water.
That makes no sense to me. I mean, I do like the part where the music fades out and it's just the voices.
Yeah. That makes me think Little Big Town did it with their one where they're talking about the fishing in a crawfish hole.
Okay.
And poker on a Saturday night, church on Sunday morning. Makes me think they got that kind of style from that one, Black Water.
Yeah, and so Blackwater, and yeah, I remember not liking that song. Not really drum related, but it's odd. Maybe that's why I hit number 1. It was odd compared to their other stuff. They've only had 2 number 1s. Second number 1 was What a Fool Believes.
What a Fool Believes.
Right?
Co-written by Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins actually put it as Night Watch.
He had his first
5 months before the Doobie Brothers.
Now he's done that quite a few times. A couple times with Doobie Brothers songs, and then when Michael McDonald went solo, a couple times with those songs because they both co-wrote. So they
both sang on "This Is It."
What was the one? No Looking Back. That was the actual album title for Michael McDonald, and this is a hit song. And I think Kenny Loggins had that on the Vox Humana CD. But the other one, I keep forgetting, but One More Try, I Can Try, something like that. They both sang that. Now Michael McDonald, he was overused, was he not? You hear him on songs like Ride Like the Wind.
Okay.
Right? If This Is It for Kenny Loggins. I mean, he shared a song with Patti LaBelle. Well, Yamo Be There with the James Ingram. So he was all over the place.
But before the Doobie Brothers, he was in Steely Dan. 3 albums. He was backing vocals.
He was backing vocals,
never did
so I don't know that he qualifies.
Playing keyboards.
I mean, that's like saying Richard Page was part of these other bands. He did a lot of backing vocals everywhere. I don't know if he qualified for being part of the band. So, but yeah, so 2 different sounds, obviously. Tom Johnston, and then he was ailing in his voice, and then Michael McDonald comes in, which is interesting because Black Water is sung by Patrick Simmons.
Right.
So you're like, why didn't he take over? They're like, oh, you're ailing. Who can we get? I've sung a song. Nah, who can we get? Not you. And even on Listen to the Music, you know, that weird section where it sounds like the sound is fading in and out.
Yeah.
Patrick Simmons is the one singing the song at that time, and then it goes back to the other guy. So, kind of funny.
Yeah. Now, the third album, they put out their hardest rocking song, China Grove.
China Grove.
Doesn't sound like anything else they've ever done either.
I know. That's
It's probably my favorite song of theirs way back when I was young.
right. And
Just because of how hard rock it is. It's the guitar riff.
and I want to say
And we like the drums too.
yeah, right. I want to say they're a southern sounding band, but then when they got the hard rockers like that, they're a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So
What would you put the one song where it's like it was 3 other bands did them first, and then they did "Take Me in Your Arms." Rock me, little one. There's like violins or something. And
yeah.
like,
Now, "Rockin' Down the Highway," another one of their songs, was on the greatest hits because it was on the radio all the time. Never put out as a single.
Right.
So that was another one you can throw out there. You're like, how do they do that?
Yeah.
Some DJ decides to put it on. I don't care if they're not releasing it. Play.
yeah. So Tom Johnson got sick.
Yeah.
He died in the 80s, right?
No.
No.
Of course, I left that list. Tom Johnston and Michael McDonald are actually part of the current Doobie Brothers.
Oh, I don't know why I thought one of them died.
No, there is a guy who died. The guy who played bass, I think, for one album. He dug something and he's dead. There's a few other players that are dead, but nobody from the original band, other than that one guy.
Okay.
And all the ones that have been on at least 10 albums, still alive.
Anyways, okay, so they had probably more hits without Michael McDonald than they do with it.
So we'll back it up a little bit. So for all intents and purposes, first album had nothing, right? Second album had listened to the music and something else. But from there on out, it's like 2 hits per album. A lot of good ones. And then soon as...
When was, you said you don't have your list? Or Jesus is Just Alright. When was that? Was that the second album?
Which one?
Jesus is Just Alright.
Yeah, that was with Listen to the Music.
Yeah, okay, so I thought...
Because the second one had China
That's
Grove.
why I made a joke of them being a Christian band, you know, last week.
Second one had China Grove and Long Train Running. So that would be... Because of that, because they pretty much had 2 hits per album, and those 2 are pretty good, that probably would be the album I would get. Captain and Me. Unless you're going to say greatest hits, but Captain and Me would be the studio album I would get. Which one would you get?
None.
I agree, but I'm just saying, if you're if you got a gun to your head.
No, I wouldn't. I would probably get the album that had What a Fool Believes. I get why they amalgamated.
Yeah, and that one had... That one actually had Minute by Minute, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is one of those bands where when that song was on the radio, did you know they were saying minute by minute? I thought it was by you.
Yeah, in fact, that's one of the things I had to complain about with even What a Fool Believes. Is some of the lyrics, it sounds like he's mumbling and you can't understand.
Well, on What a Fool Believes, it's like, what a fool believes to be, and then he goes up and you're like, I don't know what
you can say it anything.
Yeah. Right. So I agree. It's like, talk right already. It's like when you said Whoopi Goldberg was saying about Mick Jagger.
Oh, yeah.
Speak English.
Yeah, and jumping back flash.
All right. So, anyways, practically, and Taking It to the Street would have been his first hit once Michael joined the band.
Yeah.
And then from there on out.
Playing drums on that song. We're waiting.
Well, even and you were talking about those songs where you think it's a certain tempo and then it changes.
Yeah.
That's minute by minute, right?
Yeah. Starts with the keyboard. Yeah.
How are you supposed to play that? Okay, all right. So 2 hits per hour. Said that. Michael takes over practically all the hits after that. Farewell tour, and from there it's pretty much Michael McDonald's solo career. I don't know that anybody else has.
How does he leave? And the Doobie Brothers, they're the famous band.
Yeah, they could have gone without him.
Yeah,
but no, farewell. He gets a solo.
Now they did put out more albums. But
yes, they had to do like a reunion, 1989 with Cycles.
They
the Doctor
follow Michael McDonald.
Yeah, and you know what? Listen to the Doctor. If you listen to the Doctor, it sounds like Listen to the Music, right? Just a later version with more harder guitars. And then Dangerous, if you don't know this and you watch the video for Dangerous, The movie they're showing while that's playing is called Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth, who was on the Seattle Seahawks at the time. So, never seen that movie. Now I want to see it because of that video.
I think we talked about
That
yeah.
movie.
I don't know what video
Maybe.
we talked about because we talked about how that and Cobra had the same exact beginning.
Brian Bosworth was
right.
in some, and maybe that's why. I can't remember. Because he was probably in a video of somebody's. That's probably why. Alright, yeah, and after Brotherhood, they had other stuff, but they weren't. They were irrelevant after that. Because, I mean, country. I mean, let alone the good music from the 80s faded. If you got somebody who's country-ish by, you're gone. So, but Michael McDonald in between, I couldn't find 10 hits of his. That's why we're combining his stuff with the Doobie Brothers. Because I really couldn't come up with 10.
He probably had as many hits as he had with the Doobie Brothers that he had on his own.
Yeah,
on my own.
I don't No, but you definitely have to.
That's why he wrote, he has a song as a duet with Patti LaBelle.
Yes.
And it's called On My Own. And I was thinking, I'm writing this because I'm no longer with the Doobie Brothers.
And
How can you have a song called On My Own when you're single with somebody?
What's funny is you look at that song and you're like, okay, are they singing this because they're a thing? Michael McDowell and Patti LaBelle.
Was that from a movie?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, that was just them.
And it went really high. I don't think it was number one.
No. No, but
It's so slow.
I think his highest charting song was "Sweet Freedom." I think is only one.
That's from Running Scared.
Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. Mentioned that last week. Good movie. I don't know that I'd recommend it like at a top 10 of that year, but it's close. It's got the Beverly Hills Cop type of feel to it, but not quite as good.
Well, Billy Crystal, more known as a comedian than a...
And he's trying to make it funny, but okay. Anyways, but Michael McDonald is in a video with them. So when they went to Florida, he was barely there. Okay, and now get this. Doobie Brothers, they actually have appeared on TV. Their very first appearance was on the show What's Happening.
Was it the one where the guy... I forget the character's name.
Rerun and Dwayne.
Was he was trying to illegally tape it? Was that the video?
I don't know.
There was an episode where he had this huge camera and he was trying to illegally tape the concert.
Maybe.
It might be that. It might be the Doobie
I think it was
Brothers.
a two-parter. So
I think that was it. And he dropped it and everybody's like, you're gonna bootleg this and we're not gonna make money off.
What song do you think they played? That's a black show. What are they playing? Blackwater.
Is that what they played?
That's what they played. I don't know if that's the reason why. And then later they have a song at the end credits. It's a parody song apparently for South Park, the movie. Which I was trying to watch and I'm like, nope, gotta turn it off immediately.
What's funny about What's Happening? We watched that.
Yeah,
every
I remember
week.
liking it.
There's a song, I can't remember the song at the moment. There's a song that plays on the radio. Probably doesn't play anymore, but when it comes on, I'm like, I always think of What's Happening for some reason.
Is that the one that's a
Yeah, something like that.
That's what the theme song was. Yeah, so he didn't have as huge of a solo career as you would think. I think he's more known for stuff he back vocals on. Like I said, Kenny Loggins, Christopher Cross, others. Apparently, and he wrote all it. So,
Cobra, he only did the chorus anyways.
Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get to our top
10 of two different bands.
Now, we're including, obviously, Michael McDonald's. How many of his hits do you think are making it?
4. No, that's 3. I guess 3.
Okay.
At the most.
You're wrong.
2?
Okay, just 2.
Right.
Now, honorable mention, I lose 2, you lose 2. My 2, I actually I think I like more of his solo than you do, because I would have included No Looking Back. I like his version obviously better than Kenny Loggins' version. If Kenny put another song out on Vox Humana. He didn't. He put Forever.
Kenny, we're going
Yes,
by first names.
correct.
now.
I know personally. So he put Vox Humana and Forever. If he would have had a third one, No Looking Back should have been it, but I didn't realize Michael McDonald already had it. By the way, so his album No Looking Back wasn't doing very good. So he had Sweet Freedom, and then he had Patti LaBelle's on his own. So he re-released it with those two songs to try to get more money out of people. That's how you do that too. You wouldn't buy it? How about if I throw two popular songs in there? Okay, and then my other one would have been Need a Little Taste of Love, which came off of Cycles. I like that one as well, which is a actually cover song. I forget what the band is. Was it a black band that did that prior to them doing it? By a few years, I think. Okay, Your Two, Minute by Minute, which is a good sounding song. I do like it. But again, there's other. It's not that I think it's just because it's slow. It's because I like other songs better. And then "Rockin' Down the Highway," which is not a single, but you like it. I juice you. Again, give them credit. We got more Doobie hits than you would think.
Yeah.
Right. Which amazes me that I can find. Look at the list of the hits they had in the top 40. 16 top 40 hits. There are 7 that I'm like, those are so obscure they'll never get played. Or if they did play, I probably wouldn't recognize them.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what I hear. I used to hear China Grove a lot. But again, I think we didn't talk about this. Blackwater. That's what they play all the time.
You hear Blackwater all the time?
Yes.
I don't know if I hear that all the time. I hear China Grove. I remember hearing listen to them.
China Grove was something I used to hear. I was thinking we recorded this. We didn't. We were talking about it the other day. That's what it was.
I've heard Sweet Freedom a few times.
I hardly ever hear anything from Michael McDonald, yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay.
But when they do the We Play Anything, you would think they'd do the number ones. What a Fool Believes. Well, Blackwater is number one, but
They don't.
they don't.
Okay, so our number 10 is a solo hit from his first solo CD. I believe it's called If That's What It Takes, I think. And that's the song. He actually had to give credit to another band because they wrote the same titled song and it sounded similar. I've not listened to that one. But it's called I Keep Forgetting, and it's got something in parentheses, but I didn't look what that said. and his sister does backing vocals, which is odd to me. Because if you're saying, I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore, you don't want to be singing that with your sister. Okay? Alright, anyways. You have that at 5. I have it way down at 14.
And this is one case where you're wrong.
Okay, whatever. Similar to that is this next one. And again, we already discussed. It's a cool beginning, but I think once it gets past the beginning, it's not as good. And that would be Real Love.
Right. I said the best part is the beginning.
So you ranked it all the way up to number 6 just because of the beginning.
Because of the beginning, yes.
So I listened to the whole song, which dropped it down to number 12. All right, next one up comes from Brotherhood. That would be that Dangerous song.
This. Wasn't there another, I'm going back there, wasn't there another video where somebody sang, wasn't Real Love, but we had talked about fake love.
There's Method of Modern Love.
No,
right?
it wasn't that. It was another band.
Okay, I don't
Well,
know.
obviously it's another band because it wasn't this video.
I don't know.
Wasn't Genuine Love maybe? Something like that.
Well, David Bowie?
Oh, maybe it's Baby Boy.
Possibly. Okay.
We'll think of it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so now here's the reverse of those two. Two songs in a row that I really
True
like.
Love. Glenn Fry.
Okay.
Popped into my head. True Love, Real Love.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
True and real. Are the differences between true and real? Okay. Reality can sometimes not be true. Okay. So, anyways, these next 2 songs you don't like, and I do. So it's the flip of those 2 songs.
Okay.
First one is Dangerous. I have it at 4. You have it way down at 14. So
Yeah, why do we got a Roxette song on here?
You know, there's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, Lover Boy.
You talk about Dangerous.
Lover Boy.
Madonna, Roxette, and I think there was somebody else.
I just said Lover Boy.
No, besides that.
Oh.
Michael Jackson?
Oh yeah, he has an album called Dangerous.
I think he has a song called
I
Dangerous.
think his album's called Dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Could be wrong.
Anyway, but I like this because it switches between the acoustic at the beginning and then it gets rocking, which is why you got the motorcycle game in the video. Okay, next one up would be the other hit from them, and that would be, oh, by the way, did I mention Patrick Simmons was the one that sang Dangerous, right?
No, you didn't mention.
Okay, he's the guy that sang Blackwater, but this would be the song that he's on our list for. And by the way, that means, so Michael McDonald has 5 of our hits, Tom Johnson has 4, and Patrick Simmons 1. If you keep it score. Okay, so the next one would be The Doctor. And I have this one even better than Dangerous. I have this all the way to 3. And you have it 15. So you actually like Dangerous better than this one. Okay, number 6 would be from Toulouse Street, second album. That would be Listen to the Music. Good hit, good start, but you know, obviously they got better with the hits, so this can only get midway. I have this at 8. You have it at 9. So we actually did. This is where we started agreeing with songs.
There's Toulouse. Was there a guy named Toulouse-Lautrec? Was that Moulin Rouge?
Moulin Rouge. I don't know if it's Toulouse. It might be Toulouse, but I think
it's Toulouse-Lautrec.
I think
John Leguizamo plays.
If I'm correct, they take a picture on the cover and it's a brothel. So it's probably someplace either in France or New Orleans, one of the two. Because didn't we buy New Orleans off of France? Isn't that the Louisiana Purchase? Right?
History.
History. Okay, next one up would be from The Captain and Me. That's Long Train Running. I have this one at 6, and you have it at 10. I already mentioned this is the one I like. For some reason, I like the lyrics so much that this is the one I wanted to write down on it. I don't know. Next one up, it would be a
What number are we on?
Number 4. I keep wanting to say Malcolm, but it's Michael McDonald.
I said Malcolm 3 times already.
Because there's Malcolm McDowell and Michael McDonald. So, yeah, the names are similar. This would be on the minute by minute. And since we already know his honorable mentions minute by minute, we know that's What a Fool Believes. This one does not sound like most.
We'll come back to What a Fool Believes.
You have this at number 3. I have it at 9. I think Kenny Loggins did a version of this too, right?
Maybe.
And they have another song that Carly Simon did a version of, You Belong to Me. So, again, interchangeable songs for everybody. But this one doesn't sound like anything else.
Well, yeah.
This is where you know, wow, now they're keyboards, not guitar anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
No, wait. It's a high keyboard, yeah.
Yes.
Unlike the low real loud.
Right. Right. And that's why the Doobie Brothers, the hits are good, is because
they're not the same. They all sound the same.
Sounds the same. Right. Okay. Next one up, another Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell's song.
Taking It to the Streets, right?
Yeah, Taking It to the Streets.
Okay, so let's combine. We just did Taking It to the Streets.
All right.
And number 3 was What a Fool Believes. Combine those two, and we get the videos that we see about the idiots answering questions on those videos. Who's the president?
We're taking it to the streets to find out.
I don't know who our president is.
They should call it.
They're taking it to the
streets to find out what a fool believes. Good title. Good title. All right. And you can find out they're smoking doobies. Okay. Anyways, so What a Fool Believes, you had that as high as 3. I had it at 9. Taken to the Street, I had it at 5. You had it at 4. And this is similar to Sunset Grill. Like the chorus is basically them saying the same thing over and over, but it's because so fast. Taking it to the street.
Well, he says it and then they repeat it.
Really good saxophone solo in the middle. Again, they didn't have a saxophone. Suddenly they have a saxophone. So saxophones must go better with keyboards, right? Next one up.
Number one, and if you have been paying attention,
We're on number 2.
oh, you just said take him to the streets.
That was number 3.
Oh,
Okay, so we'll recap. Okay, 10, I keep forgetting. 9, Real Love. 8, Dangerous. 7, The Doctor. 6, Listen to the Music. By the way, there were 2 or 3 Tom Johnston songs in a row right there. Or no, he doesn't do. Starting with the Doctor, Listen to Music, then Long Train Running. Those are 3 in a row. And then you got Michael McDonald's What a Fool Believes, Taken to the Street, and his solo, Sweet Freedom.
oh, I knew it.
From Running Scared. We both have this at number 2. Because, first, it's from a good movie. And,
You just said earlier it wasn't that great of a movie.
oh, well, I think, okay, you're right. You're right. But, I think the song does make the movie slightly better, because it's a good song. Movie doesn't really enhance the song, but the song enhances the movie. I'd say that. But, like the beginning, bam! And then are those bongos or congas?
No, it's not bongos. I don't know what it is. It's probably a keyboard. Or
Okay, all right.
Or it's probably music machine or
Drum machines. Okay, so tangent. So now that we've done a bunch of groups that also have the lead singer go off into a solo career, right? We have had 5 songs that either made it 1 or 2 from the solo artist, even though we were talking about another band.
Oh, okay.
Can I take a guess on who those people are?
No, I'm not gonna.
2 and 1. I'll go through them. Steve Perry from Journey. We had ranked O'Sherry at number 2. Peter Cetera from Chicago. We ranked One Good Woman at number 2. Last week, we ranked, what's his name? Paul Carrick's
Oh, yeah.
Don't Shed a Tear,
From Mike and the McDonald's.
number 2.
Mike Mike and the Mechanics.
Why not? Mike and the McDonald's, okay. His name is stupid. Okay, today we have Sweet Freedom from Mike and the Mechanics. All right, and so the only one time where the hit was number 1, we were talking about The Who and Pete Townshend's Give Blood
Yeah,
number 1. So we've had 5 of the solo songs make it as high as number 2.
Okay.
Okay, for the Doobie Brothers though,
Yeah.
the one hit you haven't heard, you know,
Which I both
both agree it's number 1.
attention, you know.
Yeah, and that would be
China Grove.
China Grove. And you all agree because that's radio agrees because they play it. So, anyways, that's our top 10 list. See, we had more fun than you thought we would. Just because we can't say his name.
Yeah.
All right, so next week.
Next week's.
I will say
they have a weird name. It's way out there in left field.
Somewhere, yeah. And I will say the lead singer, they were a trio, so you had the right field, left field, center field. I don't know which one died. I'll just say the center fielder died.
Okay.
Because he sang. That's where you put the center fielder. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously you know what it is because I just...
Yeah. Was it this year or last year?
No, 2 years.
2 years.
2 years ago. It might have been last year. It was either last year or the year before.
Yeah. I don't understand why they didn't keep having. They had good songs. I don't know why they didn't keep making hits.
Right. I do know this. They don't play them. They only play
They play one song.
and it's not the song they should play. So we were cut off right as we were about to reveal who it was. So we were
Might as well tell you.
gave
Yeah,
enough hits.
Yeah, we haven't told you in a while. Next week we're doing the outfield.
And Tony Lewis died.
Yeah, but I was asking you, do you know any bands whose front man is named Tony? So that's what we'll do. So till then, we'll see you.